and grow long-term big picture?
Yeah. So it's a really good question, because the number one way to change your behavior is to change your environment. So if you change the conditions, you'll behave differently, right? Like if there's a red light, you act differently than a green light. And so that's a micro example of how we act. Like in Baltimore, when I lived there, I act differently than when I moved, because I've had a clean slate. Like I didn't have to talk to old friends that would treat me a certain way that then I would respond to in the way that I didn't want to, right? And so first thing, from a people perspective, like I think a lot can be gained from literally just moving 30 minutes away. Like even if you, like I can't move out of, I'm not gonna move from Baltimore to California. Okay, that's fine. Just move to the other side of town. Just get out of the micro environment. The second thing that'll then lead to is the people that you will frequent will change, right? And I think that you'll have to get accustomed or be okay with the fact that you will lose a lot of friends. And that's not a bad thing. Because the thing is like, if all you have in common continues to shrink and shrink and shrink, and the only thing you have left to talk about is the past, remember the good old times? Remember that time we got so drunk at Rippy's? You know what I mean? Like whatever. Then like they're not trying to help you create the future that you were ultimately looking for. And it just, like, I will say that as I've gotten, further along in that path, my time to cutting people has just shrank. Because if I figure if I'm going to cut this person eventually, I might as well cut them now and start enjoying the benefits of not having them in my life and having all this back. And it's like all those times, if I have somebody who just keeps inviting me to shit and then making me feel guilty, or if I go out and they're like, why aren't you drinking? Or like, why aren't you, like, oh, he's on another diet, whatever. It's just like, you're not just asking the question, like, how do you think what you're saying is going to help me? And if there's like, well, I'm just giving you a hard time. It's like, yeah, understood. How is that going to help me? It's not. Okay. So like either change your behavior or I will change it for you, meaning I will just not have you in my life. The third piece is that I remember there's this video, I had just opened my 6th location and I was looking to open 7 through 10. And I had already mapped out where I was going to be opening them for my gyms. And I remember I did this Facebook Live and I was like beat up. You know what I mean? Like I was tired. I was doing 12 hours a day as a sales. So I was taking sales from 8 to 8 every day. And then I would still do the rest of my work before and after that, and somehow trying to work out. During that period, I remember saying, what are you willing to give up? So I made this live. It was like, these are all the things I'm giving up now. So like, these are things that I used to do that I'm not going to be doing anymore. So I was like, I'm not following the Ravens anymore. So I was a Baltimore Ravens fan. I was like, I'm not watching football. I'm not looking at fantasy. I'm not going to build a team. I'm just, on Sundays, I need to work. Like I can't give the 3 hours. I can't do it. So I gave up football. I gave up Netflix. I was like, that nighttime where like normally I like decompress, I was like, I don't have time for that right now. Like I got to process payments, I got to process contracts, I got to follow up with leads and do reminders for the next day. And so it was changing where I was places wise, being okay with the fact that I was going to have a period of a little bit more solitude, because as soon as you cut things, you create room, you create a vacuum, but new people will come in who are like in this world. And I would recommend just connecting with people online, because there's such bigger communities of people who are trying to do the same thing online versus wherever you're at locally, right? And then the third is, it's just like, what are my behaviors? What are the things I'm going to give up in order, like, because you got to make room, like you only have 24 hours, right? So it's like, what are the things that aren't getting me where I want to go? And the thing is if you just say, I'm not going to do those, positive behaviors will fill the gap.
I think for me, it comes to more maybe a family side of things. Totally. Or like those people, I have a different way of dealing with them, their family. Yeah. But like, I don't know how to necessarily navigate that.
So 2 things. First off, I have very extreme views on this. So like, just take that with a grain of salt that you will, right? If we zoom all the way out, like I didn't choose to be born. That was forced on me. And so like, I don't feel like I owe anyone for that, right? Now that being said, I believe in fair exchange or abundant exchange, meaning like, I'm going to make everybody in my life better for being